south of Bangladesh, over 1 million Rohingya refugees are cramped into this camp in Kutupalong. They arrived here from neighboring Myanmar to escape a brutal military crackdown. But over the past 2 years, this Muslim minority community has been facing another conflict within the camp. Internal violence has erupted between rival armed Rohingya factions. Last year, this man lost his 17-year-old son who was killed in a shootout. The identity of the family is protected for their safety.
He was killed right here. I was told he was looking in this direction. Attackers came from behind and shot him. Coming here makes me very sad.
The teenager is among the nearly 150 victims killed in the last 2 years in this gang war between the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army or the ARSA and the Rohingya Solidarity Organization or the RSO. The mother was the first one to find her son's body.
When I heard the sound of gunfire, I went outside and saw around 10 to 15 men with knives, machetes, and guns. They stayed there for a while before leaving. I saw them with my own eyes. I can't believe he's dead. My son, he was innocent. He was just on his way to school that day. I'm devastated to know that today it's our own community members oppressing and killing us.
Fearing reprisals, the family didn't file any police complaint and no investigation was carried out.
Assalamu alaikum.
John Kinley is fighting for justice for these refugees. For the past decade, he has been leading the NGO Fortify Rights, documenting human rights abuses against the Rohingyas.
They're refugees and they don't have the same kind of access to justice and accountability that regular Bangladeshis have, right? So in a lot of the cases that we've documented, there's either no formal investigation or no person held accountable for the killing. Basically, the killings in the camps are happening with almost near impunity.
John Kinley has gathered dozens of testimonies of abuse. He claims that between March and May, at least 1,700 refugees were also forcibly recruited by armed groups to bolster their ranks and those of Myanmar's junta.
Rohingya armed groups abducting refugees here in Bangladesh, bringing them across the border to Myanmar, and getting them to fight alongside the Myanmar army. This is the same perpetrators who conducted the genocide against the Rohingya in 2016-2017.
While originally the ARSA and RSO were at war with the Myanmar military, they are now fighting a common enemy, the Arakan army. This Burmese Buddhist group is gaining ground against the junta while also facing accusations of massacres against the Rohingya. The ARSA and RSO deny the accusations of forceful conscription. They refuse to speak to us on camera. But this young man tells us a different story. He claims he was kidnapped by RSO fighters last August. He agreed to talk to us anonymously.
I remember it was around the time of the night prayers. My son was crying and I got up to buy him some milk. As I left the store, 20 to 30 men told me not to move. They pulled a gun on me. And that same night, I was taken by boat to Myanmar. Then a general from the Burmese junta came to talk to us about the training we were to undergo. I just had surgery, that's why I couldn't take part, so another military man arrived and beat me up.
Luckily, 2 months after his abduction, he managed to escape and return to Bangladesh. He claims he was forced to fight against the Arakan army.
Where I was, there were around 800 fighters. 100 to 200 had been recruited in Myanmar. The rest of them were conscripted from the camps. It was the Burmese junta's soldiers who persecuted us, who raped our mothers and sisters, and who chased us off our land. How can we fight alongside them?
This constant threat only worsens the already dire living conditions in the Rohingya refugee camps. In this clinic run by Doctors Without Borders, Syed Jahangir sees around 1,000 patients every day.
I am here for 4 years. In first 2 years, I didn't receive any case like any gunshot or freezing. Last, I think, 2 or 3 years, we have seen that the violence-related cases is increasing in the camp. In October and November, we have received around 30 to 40 cases of gunshot injury. The patient got injured by knives, some hammers or machete.
Despite round-the-clock patrols by Bangladeshi police, the ongoing violence has raised serious questions. Mrityunjoy Desajal is the commander of one of these patrol units. In addition to their patrolling on foot and by car, this control tower has been built to monitor a larger area.
Now we are in the center of the Rohingya camp. The area of the camp is about 20 square kilometers. We are 1,300 for maintaining law and order for 1 million people. If it is 3,000, then it will be more comfortable for us to perform our duty.
According to the UN, around 4,000 Rohingya refugees have risked their lives fleeing Bangladesh by boat over the past 2 years. They hope to reach countries like Malaysia and Indonesia in pursuit of the safety and security that remain out of reach.